What's going on? Friday, October 25th, 2024. How about the 1994 season of Anthony Tony Gwynn? Incredible. I've been covering all his seasons. Up to this point, he's had some great years. Starting with 1982, he's 22 years old. That's 289. Okay. But from 1983 until 1993, he's batted 300 every year. He had a couple of really super seasons. 1984, he gets 213 hits and bats 351. How about that? Comes back the next year, 1984, gets 197 hits and bats 317. Comes back the next year, 1985, 211 hits, bats 329. Then he really burst on the scene. 1987, 218 hits, bats 370. Not just 300, 3 for 10, but 370, almost 4 for 10. 30 points shy of 400. 218 hits. 1989, he breaks out and gets 203 hits again for the fourth time. Bats 336. So meanwhile, he has 4 batting titles up to this point. So then from 1989 until 1993, some good years because he's still batting 300. Not as many 200 hit seasons. In fact, his high there is like 177. So it doesn't reach 200 hits for about 6 years in a row. But he does bat in 1993, 358. Now we come to 1994. He plays 110 games. Why? Because the stupid baseball strike occurs in the middle of August of that year. So Tony Gwynn he has to miss the next 52 games because of the owners and the players not agreeing on the almighty dollar. Players want more money. Owners want to spread it out more, or even they want money too in their pocket, but they got to be careful how they're spending all the money. I believe the players are greedy. I really do. Come on. A lot of them are making over millions of dollars, and yet they wanted more and more and more. Do I blame the players or the owners on the baseball strike? I would say 60% players, 40% owners. You may disagree with me on that. Collective bargaining agreement and all that. The players, they want the pot of gold. They want as much as they can get. I agree that you want to get paid a lot, but there's got to be a point. If you're going to cancel the baseball season because you want $5 million more than what you're making, come on, you guys only play 6-7 months a year. You're not playing a full year, and you're making millions. Compare that with a lot of other occupations. A lot of people in their professions, work about 50 weeks a year and get 2 weeks vacation. You guys are working about what, 6-7 months? And then you get 4 or 5 months off if you don't make the World Series. Anyways, 1994, Tony Gwynn is on a pace to bat 400. Why? Because in 110 games, he has 419 hits and collects 165 hits up through the middle of August. Still got about 6 weeks to go. He has 165 hits and he's batting 394. 6 points shy of 400. You know what this means? All he has to do is either go 2 for 4, which is batting 500 for the day, or 2 for 5, which bats 400. If he goes 1 for 4, that's 250. But he can come back and get 2 or 3 hits, and then he can break out with a 4-hit game or a 5-hit game. I honestly believe that Tony Gwynn, if he had played 162 games in 1994, he probably would have batted about 405 or 410 because he was on that pace. He scores 79 runs, 35 doubles, 1 triple, 12 homers, 64 RBIs, 5 stolen bases, 48 walks. But he's batting .394, and the strike happens. So the owners close the ballparks, put chains on it. There's that famous video where you drive up to the ballpark, you come to the gate, and there's a big lock and chain on the gate. America's pastime is closed because the players and the owners can't agree on money. And collective bargaining agreement, I guess trades, I guess rosters, a lot of other things, revenue. 1994 is a big stain on the history of baseball because there's no World Series. Tony Gwynn batting .394, so he wins the batting title. That is his 5th one. 454 on base, 568 slugging, 238 in total bases. His best hitting streak, 10 games. He had 54 multi-hit games. I told you he's on the pace for 400 because he's getting 2 hits a game, 2 or more hits a game, 54 times. If he had 52 more games, how many more multi-hit games do you think he would have had? Probably 20, maybe 25. He would have had 74, maybe 80 multi-hit games. And like I said, all he had to do is go 2 for 4, 2 for 5. If he has an offer, the next day he can come back 2 for 4, 2 for 5, or he gets 3 for 4, 3 for 5, or he breaks out, gets a 4-hit game. He's got plenty of them. He had 5-hit games. He's had 3 in one season, so he's possible he can get a 5-hit game. And he had a 6-hit game in 1993. So Tony Gwynn was on the pace. I don't believe Tony Gwynn would have gone like 0 for 20. No way. He was hot. He was just stroking the ball, seeing the ball. And if he's getting 4 or 5 hits, 4 or 5 at bats per game, he had 165 hits. If he has 52 more games, he averages more than a hit a game. I mean, he had 110 games, 165 hits. That's way over a hit per game, right? So he was on pace for about 220 hits. What a shame. We'll never know what happened. And Tony Gwynn himself said, I was so hot, I would have batted 400, just like Ted Williams. I would have done it. 37 2-hit games, 13 3-hit games, 2 4-hit games, 1 5-hit game, 18 games, 2 runs scored, 1 game, 3 runs scored, 1 game, 4 runs scored, 7 games, 2 RBIs, 5 games, 3 RBIs. He had 1 game, 5 RBIs. 1994, historically for Tony Gwynn, one of his best seasons. Is this the best? Well, we got some more seasons coming up. So we'll evaluate this. Can we say it's the best batting average he has up to this point? Yes, .394. He has a .370. And if you look down at the rest of the seasons from 1994 through 2001, you're going to see that Tony Gwynn has a 5-year stretch where he's batting over .350, averaging .350 or better. 1993, .358. 1994, .394. 1995, .368. 1996, .353. And 1997, .372. 5-year stretch over .350. We'll get into those seasons. Our next video will be 1995. What does he do when the baseball season resumes in 1995? We'll take a look at it. Talk to you later. I'm out.